What happened 5 minutes ago, girl?
5 minutes ago, I did not know that Flip was already here, so I started talking about how he does what he wants, and he was out there on the balcony.
The sad part about that whole thing is that it's like I'm like a slave to you. Like I come out, I defend you, I especially behind the scenes, I champion for you. And when you're not here, when you wasn't here, I'm like, yo, man, what's up with Mel? I pulled to the side where my sister at, and as soon as you think I'm just sitting right there minding my business, talking to my tax guy, on the phone, and I walk in, you in the midst of kicking my back in, Mel.
Sorry, I was wrong.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Slowly but surely, everything starts to reach the surface. I always wondered why Flip would constantly speak on Melyssa, whether it's her personal life, whether it's trying to get her thoughts on something, her inclusion, defending her, just always at Mel's direction. Then it's starting to click. Mel is the Karen behind the scenes. Mel does everything possible she can behind the scenes to get people in check. Because I spoke on it, or Flip himself spoke on it, a couple of episodes ago when he told Mark, you got that call, didn't you? Flip knows all too well about these calls. Melyssa only announced this or acknowledged this because Joe was going to bring it up whether she acknowledged it or not, so she tried to jump in front of it. She caught what he was doing with his segue from doing anything wrong. So she jumped on it instead of letting Joe get out in front of it. But with her doing that, pieces are starting to click together in his head. Oh, if I wasn't here to overhear this, what would have happened as a result? She's not telling Joe and the guys all my transgressions for no reason. What would have happened if I wasn't here and I did show up late? She's still on this stick. Months ago, I hadn't gotten off this because I was frustrated when I made that video as a result of it. When she was saying that Flip needed anger management, and that she was going to try to insist he get anger management because of how he treated her back then. They never brought it back up, but I always wondered what happened as a result of that. And this is it. She's still on the same thing. And Flip is conflicted. That's why whenever he shoots at her and just goes and goes and goes, he's conflicted. She does everything to me behind the scenes, and on camera, I'm the one that comes off as crazy. Why do you concern yourself with me being on time, with me being here at work to begin with? Any of the above. And if we don't see Mark shoot at Melyssa going forward, that talk is real. But knowing Mark, he's going to get his shots off. Fuck you. Fuck what you're talking about. I'm doing what I need to do on the JBP, so I'm not going to get reprimanded like you think I will. But Melyssa does everything behind the scenes and then wonders why the guys on the pod treat her the way they do on the pod for the public perception. It's because they're tired of the shit that you're doing behind the scenes. And Mark spoke to this. I'm not treating you any differently than I treat anyone else. Yet you expect it from me. Why is that? Why is that? And then you play your ditzy role on the pod. You only articulate what you feel like articulating. You only speak on the side that you feel like speaking on. But once somebody's opposed to anything that you say, you immediately fall into that victim role. And Flip saw it in real time with this little incident. If I wasn't here, what would have happened? Hey, Flip. You keep speaking on this and you haven't put two and two together, so I'm going to fill in the blanks. Joe didn't dock your pay because he was tired of you showing up to work and not showing up to work and doing what you feel. Look around the room. How many times has Melyssa brought this up, sir, and she's still bringing it up? Flip could do whatever he wants. This is Joe's way of showing her and quote unquote the rest of the guys, everyone gets treated the same. If you miss work, you miss pay. And at the time, I equated that to Joe trying to show Melyssa or teach her a lesson. But he is doing this for Melyssa, but it's not to teach her a lesson. It's to show her the power that she has on the pod. I think Joe heard them lawsuit talks that we were talking about a couple of months back, and he's doing everything to cover his corners. Flip, I would absolutely be looking at Melyssa Ford sideways, sir. Those docs didn't happen for no reason. You were doing whatever the hell you wanted. You were hitting them over the head for a year plus. And then out the blue, all of a sudden you're getting docked. And now you see that people are speaking. And in people, I'm talking about one person. This is why everyone gets frustrated on her persistently. Because if she's doing that to Flip, and that's who she came in with, who else is she doing that to? After Ish and her had that explosion on the Bitch Box episode, we all equated it to that being the reason they fell out. But what if Joe had a talk with him behind the scenes? Because she brought something up to his attention. She was bringing it tough on that Bitch Box episode, and then Ish blew her top. And we haven't seen people get on Melyssa Ford since. What do you think happened as a result of that? So now it's starting to make sense why the guys are constantly frustrated with her. Because she does things behind the scenes to make sure she's seen angelically and we're seen as the bad guys. It's just everyone has caught on. Even the audience, even the women in the audience is starting to catch on to the tactics of Melyssa Ford. And Mark is the only person who's so eloquent enough to tell her straight to her face, you are no different than any of us. You're no different. And once Joe gets that through his head, it's a wrap. Because I know the dogpiling is funny, but they're doing this. This is their passive aggressive way of shooting at Melyssa. Because we can't do anything that she does behind the scenes. We're not going to go behind her back and be like, Melyssa's doing this, Melyssa's doing that. I'm not going to say these things. We're going to say it to her face. Just like when she was taking these vacation times. Because Joe didn't speak on it. But he kind of spoke on it. He alluded to it when she was talking about that stupid ass Gracie. I was over here for the Gracie. But that's when she did the Dr. Bryant interview. That was in LA where she received her Gracie. So Joe put two and two together. That's why just yesterday they were speaking on it so much. They're frustrated. Fuck Dr. Bryant and what she is, because we interviewed Kevin Samuels and they made the correlations. It's when you did it. But you'll be the same person to talk to Flip or about Flip when he does the same thing. But I haven't heard Melyssa's checks getting docked. Why do you think that is? So Flip, pay attention to the things that are happening behind the scenes and how dismissive people are of you. Notice how Melyssa doesn't say too much to you in return these days, but she will reach out to you and do content with you and all these other things. She'll use you right in front of your face, and you won't even realize it because she's Melyssa Ford. But she's the reason a lot of changes are happening to you at the JBN. And in your head, you're thinking it's all you, but it's not. You gotta pay attention to your surroundings, dog. But I appreciate y'all as always. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking. Hey, go to the Patreon page. Free tier has an exclusive Patreon drop. One about Mark and Joe. You're not going to want to miss it. But it's a Patreon exclusive. Yep. Selfless plug. I'm sending y'all that way to go watch videos too. I'll see y'all soon. Got a YouTube video coming out later today. You already know. We turning it up this summer. I ain't playing. Peace.